we're just gonna try to take Raj.
Yeah, I think he's all
And
connected now.
okay, what would you like to say, Raj?
Hey, hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hey, first of all, glad to connect with you guys. Big time, fan, and you guys are doing something really great. And both of you are very brave, actually.
Oh,
So,
thank
Thank
you.
you.
and the thing is, I agree on most things with you guys. And there are something, and one of the reasons I follow you is because you both are pretty informed about whatever you guys are, speaking on. The certain things that I feel you're not like very well informed are like some things that come out of India, and that sort of makes sense because probably you guys have never actually lived or grown up in that part of the world. So, and so one fact, something like I grew up in Middle East, and that sort of like helped me question religion in general. I saw live broadcast of soccer matches, basically football and soccer matches being cancelled, and all that. So I was questioning religion all the while, and oh my goodness, it's amazing. I don't really have much to say here. Thank you. You guys do a
What do
great
you
job.
mean by, maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on that? We don't know much about India. What
Yeah.
have we said that makes you feel like we're making ill-informed
No.
opinions?
First of all, it's not ill-informed. It's just that the narrative that comes out of India is still like largely left-wing, which is very much, still, it does not portray the clearer picture that someone who has lived there
So
might
those
differ
people
from.
who are left wing, they are living there. So they're coming to coming to that conclusion, the narrative that they're pandering. So it seems to me it's not the issue of people living there or not living there. It seems to me
Yeah.
the issue is you not
What
agreeing
the,
with this.
Maybe no, and not just that, like there is some sort of misinformation. Or okay, so first up, like the things that the people you call tunnis, and that's a good word though. I like that word because I don't know why, but
That's
it's
the word.
somehow.
Those of you, those are in Western audience who don't know, we call radical Hindus Tunnis, and it's
Yeah.
actually stuck a bit. Like a lot of people know about this and they don't like it. But
Yeah,
anyway, you go on.
and it sort of rhymes with Sunnis, so they
Sunnis
are
and Tunnis.
the
Yeah.
and they are the ones who have the most problem in India in general. Like Shias in India, probably they have never revolted. They are like more or
The
less okay with.
small. The number is very small. But anyway, you
They're
go on. So what about
also.
Tunis?
Yeah, so like the thing is like even though they are like they take up arms against people, and I'm not at all happy with whatever and certain things though that they are still not incentivized by the right wing government, neither Modi, Yogi. They are not like in any way helping them or coming to their defense. That's one good thing, I guess, because even though Modi and Yogi get like all the hatred because they're
What
right
would
wing
be
extreme.
what would be them coming to the defense? Like, I mean, are you saying how can they become a party? How
That
that would be even
also.
worse.
Yeah, they're not at all incentivized by the state in any in any capacity.
So I'll give you a problem. So we know that,
Yeah,
but that's not the problem here. The
yeah,
problem here is sending messages where these people believe that they are safe. We've seen many clips where these people have become more brazen because they believe that Modi and Yogi are on their side. That's why they're
yeah,
acting like that. For example, I'll give you an example. Pakistani constitution doesn't allow mob lynching. Pakistani constitution doesn't allow insulting other religions. But people think, Muslims in Pakistan think that if we cursed another religion, Hinduism, we would become heroes. They think that if we lynch a guy, then the government is not going to touch us. Even though, so why that is, so these democracies, how they work, it's the impression that you leave on other people. So our criticism of Yogi and Modi and BJP is not the fact that they are saying that, okay, from now on it's a Hindu Rashtra and we are pro-Hindu. We're not saying that.
yeah.
Well, we're saying that the impression that they leave, it gives a signal to people that they think that,
True,
okay, this is our India. I've seen some videos where they say Modi and Yogi are on our side. They
true,
become more brazen when they think that. And Modi doesn't have to say that I am with the Hindus of India. He doesn't have to say that. His
true.
second tier leaders, they can just hint. They give these little signals and people pick up on that. That's the problem.
So basically, dog whistle.
Yeah, dog
So
whistling, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So and the good thing though is like since most of the Sunni crowd they still do not set the narrative, you know. So what I'm hoping, and you know, this is one point that I disagree with you guys. Like you keep mentioning, if this thing keeps rising, then eventually there might be bloodbath, and you know, some there might be like scale cleansing of any sort.
There will
What
be.
I Yeah, no, I hope not. I for the
I hope
benefit of
not too, but I
yeah,
think there
yeah,
will
yeah.
be.
So the what I think is that since the Sunni group does not really know how to set up a narrative, and they exist only as reactionaries to the radical Islam in India,
Well, where
because
would that reaction stop?
that would stop if the
I'll give you an
government.
example. I'll
Yeah,
give you an example how they don't set the narrative. This
yeah.
anti-love jihad law, as sophisticated as it could be, they did that after pressure from these radical Sunnis.
Uh,
I know it's not because government's laws have to be a bit more sensible, so they hide behind sophistry and the language used a bit clever. So you could say that, well, it's about like if you're tricked into marrying a Muslim guy or whatever. Again, that law was totally unnecessary, because if you're forced to stay within a certain religion, or you're beaten up or you're defrauded, there are already laws against it. But that love jihad law, that was enacted, that
uh,
was implemented or legislated after pressure from radical Sunnis.
so true and false, a bit, you know, like bit of. I agree and disagree both. Like if the state machinery was good enough, we probably would not need that law. So I agree with you on that point.
So why
The pro-
introduce that law?
So the problem that, and this is something that I have observed myself while still I was in India. The thing was that the conversions are always happening from Hinduism to other. It's never a conversion from Muslim
Bad
to
luck. Yeah,
Christianity,
bad luck.
Christianity to Muslim,
Bad
and
luck.
true, true, true. And most of those conversions are for the lower caste people who are like they're
Bad
deprived
luck.
of again so it's like they're like trying to what do you call that, make most of someone's bad fortune, you know. If someone is
Bad luck.
poverty ridden, if proper
Bad
state
luck.
machinery okay, I get that, but yeah. So that is
So
one
so
thing
so
which
what's your point? So I just said that's just bad luck. It's not state's business. If I tomorrow, if I'm poor and someone gives me a rice bag and says, I'm going to feed your family, I'm going to give you 1 year's worth of Nando's vouchers, I'll be like,
yeah,
what do I have to do? You have to just call yourself a Christian. Okay. If I'm hungry,
yeah,
starving, my kids, that's fine. No one's business. Otherwise, if I'm so important to you that my religious identity needs to be preserved, then give me something. It's
true,
no one's
true.
business.
Yeah, true. I mean,
So why, my question to you is, why introduce that law?
again, just because someone is getting, you know, they're benefiting out of someone's poverty and they're making misinformed decisions and pushing their political agenda more or less.
Bad luck. It's not bad luck. Bad
Yeah,
luck. I just gave you an example. See, this is
yeah,
the thing. This is why you guys don't understand our narrative, because you are still attached to this cultural identity and you have loyalty to the tag Hindu title or whatever. Bad luck. And you know what? When we look at it holistically, these conversions don't even make an ounce of difference. There are no demographics change. Whatever demographic change happened at the start. You know what? People love to say that. Oh, you know, like, oh, in 1947, they were like 5%. Now they're 15% or whatever. Fair enough. But, you know, let me give you a surprising fact that a lot of Hindus and radical Sunnis, they just peddle a false narrative. In West Pakistan, Hindus only made up of 1%. And now they make up 3%. They're tripled in number, Hindus in Pakistan. But they keep saying that, oh no, they were, what were they? 22%, and now they've reduced to 3%. That's a false narrative, because majority of Hindus were in Bangladesh. Then when after 1971, it dropped down to 1%, because in West Pakistan, they were only 1%. But they've actually increased. They were 1% of the population, now they're 3% of the population. That's quite a
interesting.
lot.
I was
So
not aware of that. Yeah,
yeah, of course you're not aware of that, because you get that false narrative. But my point is, again, when you said that, they're not, this is pandering to them by introducing laws like
true.
love jihad law. It's not state's business. We've already got laws against murder. If a Hindu guy kills his wife, whether she's a Muslim or a Hindu or what, it doesn't matter. There is a law against that. So keep out of that. But anyway, thank you
True,
for
true.
having this chat.
Thank you so much. And last, I'll just finish by saying this one, that, you know, if we can learn one thing from Christianity is like in 2000 years of a struggle of Christianity against democracy, we see that democracy wins. So let's root for the things, democracy and not religious. Separation of state and government is essential, and we should rather be on
Yeah,
that.
but for that, you're going to have to disconnect yourself with your Hindu identity. This is why I'm against those Hindu atheists. And I drop that title, because you will always have the soft spot for that Hindu identity. That's the problem. Anyway, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.